Got a new queen. All right, last night I opened up the hive. I checked every single frame. All of the swarm cells that were in there as of 6 days ago were all open last night. So they were open. Some of them were torn out. Some of them were hatched. I did not see a queen or evidence of a queen. So I got a new queen. This is a local queen. This is a queen that came from one town over. This is a Carniolan queen, but it was open mated locally. So it could be an Italian, a Russian, or another Carniolan father, but this is a Carniolan queen. I just spoke to the breeder of the queen, and he gave me instructions on what I should do. He was a little concerned because all those swarm cells have hatched in the last week. One of those queens, or the one that survived, probably the first one that came out, ripped open all the other swarm cells. She could very well have come back, and I missed her. So that hive could have a virgin queen in there, or a newly mated queen that isn't laying yet. To be safe, I got another queen. I'm going to put this queen on top of the inner cover. This is what the breeder suggested I do, because he doesn't know what's in there. He said there could be a queen in there, and they could be taking to her already. If I put this one down in on the frame, I'm not going to really be able to check to see if they're just totally attacking her. So he said, put her on the inner cover, come back and check her in a couple hours. See if they're hanging out with her, if they're trying to get her out, or if they're completely ignoring her. He said they could just completely ignore her, and that means they probably have a queen down in the hive that they're hanging out with. So I'm going to put her in. We're going to see what happens. So as of all my inspections, the last 2 inspections, I did not see a queen anywhere, or evidence of a queen. So, you know, it is my belief this hive is queenless. I'm going to just see what they do when I put this queen on top of the frames. See if she gets completely balled up, or... Let's just watch. Well, they're not attacking her. I think they're checking her out. I think they're into her. Yeah, they are going at the candy. While the bees are checking out the new queen, I'm going to move a couple of these undrawn frames closer to the middle. This was a suggestion because these frames are undrawn and there's a lot of nectar in the middle here. So they're checking her out. They're not stinging. I mean, they're trying to get her out. You can see there's a good lineup at the end go after the candy plug. So this is what was suggested to do, is to put her on the edge of the inner cover. It's just a slow introduction rather than sticking her on a frame inside. Come back in a couple hours. Alright, it's been 6 hours since I put the cage in. Let's check it out. They are working hard to get her out. They've made it quite a ways in on the candy end here. So the bees on the left side there are all going in and eating out the candy plug. I think that's just fondant in there. The bees on the right side, on the main screen here, can't really tell what they're doing. They don't seem aggressive. The supplier that I got the queen from suggested putting the cage like this on the inner cover, and now I'm a little worried because I can't close the cover all the way, that if she gets out of this cage she might just fly away. So I'm thinking about putting it inside the hive a little more, maybe just down in the hole, because she's going to be out tonight for sure, probably within an hour. So I think I might just put this down in the hole and then close the lid tight so she does go down into the hive. I wonder if the bees know that the way into the queen there, the way to let her out is to eat that fondant. How would they know that? Or if they're just eating it because it's fondant. These bees have never seen a queen cage before, but they figured out how it works within seconds. They were at the fondant when I put the cage down, and I guess that could just be because it's fondant. They were just going at it, but it seems like now they're really working it. They're in there trying to get through it. So I've seen videos on YouTube of bees that are rejecting a queen, and it's a pretty aggressive ball, and everything's vibrating. And it just does not seem that way with this queen. They're surrounding her, and they're tending to her, but it does not seem aggressive. So I think we might be okay. The big question is there another queen in the hive? Did one of those swarm cells hatch and kill the others, and she's either in there maturing to go out on a mating flight, or she's out mating and she's just down in the hive doing her thing. And we have a new queen now coming in. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. But these bees seem to be okay with this queen, so we'll see. So if you're wondering why I went with a queen, I knew I needed to requeen. I could have crossed my fingers and hoped one of those swarm cells produced a queen, but I would have been waiting weeks to find out if it was successful. And then we would be in October, and I may not have a queen, and this hive would just have been, queenless and needing to be combined with Russians or something, but it would not have made it through the winter as is. So the only option for me really was to requeen. And I would have done an experiment with the swarm cells, putting them into a nuke and trying to make a little mini hive to produce a queen that way. But I was also going to requeen as well, the main hive. So I had to do this. And then last night the decision was made when I opened the hive and all the swarm cells were open and empty. This was the option. So I'm hoping this queen goes in and everything is back to normal. And now the worst case scenario is, well, there's two. She either comes out of here and flies away, or she swarms, or there is another queen in the hive and they have to fight it out. I did my best to see if I could find a virgin queen in the hive, and I could not. I did 2 very thorough inspections back to back and did not see any queens. It's fascinating stuff. I was hoping to get a shot of this queen emerging from her cage, but the sun has set. I've got about another 20 minutes of residual light here. So it's going to be a little while, and it's going to be dark by the time they do get through. So I'm going to put this cage down into the hole here and let them work on this, and I'm going to put the lid on so they have a full cover, because I'm worried the queen's going to get out and just fly away in this opening. So alright, so they're working at it. She'll be out probably in about an hour at this point. And I'm going to put the lid on. Alright, good night, new queen. Alright, she's in there. She'll be out within an hour, and we're going to see tomorrow what happens. Hopefully she's in there running around on frames, maybe even laying eggs. But who knows, if there is a virgin queen in there or a newly mated queen in there already that I missed, there could be a death match tonight, and one will survive. But we will see tomorrow morning. Uh-oh.